Hi guys, Wes from brokenbrushgaming here, and it's another Terrain on Tuesday. Today I've got a tutorial on how to use hairspray for weathering. It's a really nice technique, kind of gives you a bit of a 3D chipping effect. You can also use different chipping fluids from different manufacturers, but I find that hairspray, you get a bunch of it, it's pretty cheap, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to get this process done. I'm going to be showing you how to do this on some of the barrels and ammo crates from the Munitorum Armored Container set. I've gone ahead and prepped the pieces to get them ready using the same process that I used in my tutorial video with the red Munitorum container. You can check that video out by hitting the link up in the top right, just to give you an idea of how to get these prepped up. I've also gone ahead and rusted them up a bit, as you can see, just to get them ready for the process. There we go. Get that to focus in. Yeah, so we got some rust going on. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to apply our base color that we want the items to be over this pre-prep of the rust, so that when we chip away the paint with the hairspray, we'll end up with the rust showing through and the paint still being on top, which will give us sort of that actual 3D effect that you would actually have in nature, where paint chips off and then the exposed surface is rust. So we're going to get started here with just a little bit of hairspray. I use a non-aerosol, just kind of the pump version of the spray, because it's easier to have it in liquid form. So what I'm going to do is I actually just use the little lid that comes here with it, pour some out into the container, like so. And we're going to start just kind of applying this with an old dirty brush. You don't want to use a good brush for this, because the hairspray obviously will get sticky and just kind of ruin any good brush that you use. So just got an old kind of nasty brush that was cheap. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys and we're just going to kind of completely cover them with the hairspray. And so we want to cover the entire surface here, so that when we chip it off, we get a really random pattern. And we're not going to chip it all off, we'll just chip off parts, and we're going to see how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and carry on getting all these pieces done up with the hairspray, and we will be back after that. So as you can see, it's just nicely covered. Alright, so now we can see that the hairspray is fully dry. Gives it a little bit of a gloss, but that's going to come off when we start chipping away the paint. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the barrels with a model color dark Prussian blue, and the crates are going to be hit with a model color German camo. Alright, so starting with the barrels, just going to give them a nice even coat of this Prussian blue. And we're going to hit the little ammo boxes here with some German camo dark green Vallejo model color. You want to get a pretty good coverage when you're doing this, because we are going to flake it off. We don't want it to be see-through. We want to make sure we cover the entire piece. And we will carry on and get the rest of those painted up. Alright, so now that our base color is dry, you can see we just got a nice solid coat of our blue on there, nice solid coat of our green on the ammo boxes. What we're going to do, get you a little cup of warm water, and what you're going to do is start painting away. You can already see just from that little bit of paint there, a little bit of water, the color is already starting to come off a bit. Couldn't get it to focus there. But basically, you're just gonna kind of go after it and attack. You can start to see our lower rust layer coming through. And so what you want to do is just grab, you know, any high areas where the paint would come off, like the bands that are around this barrel here. Just kind of scrape away the paint there. And then if you really want to go after some spots, really kind of go after it kind of hard. Really jab your brush in. Take off a lot of the paint like that. You can see that that gives us our rust color from the bottom that's coming through, and it's actually a layer below, so it looks pretty natural. And so what you do is you just carry on doing this across your model. As soon as you have it to a point that you're happy with, just let the water that's on there dry. If you try and dry it off, you'll end up peeling off more paint. So just let the water dry naturally. It just takes a few minutes. And basically kind of just do this to your heart's content, to all your pieces, and get what you think looks good. Be kind of random with it. Have some spots that you really go after nice and hard, some that you just kind of dab at and let it flake away. And you'll end up with a nice rusty looking barrel. Now you can use this on anything. You can use this on tanks. You can use this method on your war machines for war machine. You can use it, or your jacks I should say, for war machine. You can use this for your terrain. You can even use it on Space Marines if you wanted to have them kind of have a rusty look beneath. You could, instead of leaving it rusty beneath, you could leave this silver. So it hasn't rusted, but it has chipped away. It's just a really, really nice overall look to the model. See, they kind of go at it from the top there, and the spray paint is actually what, or not spray paint, the hairspray is what is basically coming away when you get the water, so your rust layer doesn't get attacked. Now, if you go at it really hard, you will knock your rust layer off. So don't go at it too terribly hard, but go after it just with a little bit of force. And you can even just kind of go at it softly like this. You'll see there we even managed to get, just from going at it softly, we managed to get a piece off. So just kind of show you what this looks like with the green. We'll do one of the ammo containers here. And once again, just a little bit of warm water. And we'll start to go at it just like that. Once again, going after some of the raised points, the edges of the ammo box here, places that would naturally have the paint get rubbed off and then be exposed to the elements to rust up. So what I'll do is I'll just carry on with getting all these pieces done, and we'll show you how we finish them up. So there you have it, a nice, easy way to get some really realistic looking rust on some of your terrain and other pieces. As you can see, we've just got just nice peeling paint over parts of the surface. Some of them you can go a little bit crazier on. This one's still trying to dry up a little bit from the water. But yeah, you just get some nice, realistic looking pieces just from a little bit of hairspray. So a couple things to remember when you're doing this technique. The first thing is get a really good random, lots of different colors of rust going on in your base layer before you put the spray paint on. That way when you chip off, you get a lot of different color variation showing up through the paint. Next thing, cover it in hairspray. Like I said, I use a non-aerosol hairspray that allows me to put it on with a brush. You could shoot it through an airbrush if you wanted to, but it goes on by brush just well, and you can get a nice thick layer of it on so that it does peel really easy when you go at it in the next stage. After you get your hairspray on and it's fully dried, paint the piece in a nice couple of coats. If you're doing it with a brush, a couple of thin coats, or if you're doing it with the airbrush, just, you know, nice thin coats with your airbrush. Get a solid covering of the color you want over the entire piece, And finally, the last stage is to take some warm water and an old brush or a piece of sponge, or really anything that you want, and just chip that paint away. Just put the water on to the surface and let it sit for a couple of seconds, and then start just brushing your paint, your top layer away, and it'll reveal your rust through. The way that I finish these, because you do have that hairspray in there, and it could possibly make the pieces more prone to chipping in the future, which wouldn't be so bad because it's just going to show more rust. But if you want them to stay the way they are, just hit them with a quick layer of matte varnish to just cover them over. Also, obviously, for the crates and the barrels, go back in and catch the detail pieces, the aquillas and the skulls and the little spigot on the barrel, those types of things. Just catch those pieces. Make sure you weather those down a little bit as well, just with, you know, some wash, or, you know, if you're trying to make them look brass and old, do some verdigris with like nilic oxide or something like that, and that'll finish the pieces off. But there you have it. Really is my favorite way to go about weathering, because the results are just really natural looking, because you are actually peeling away paint, which is what we're going for. It's the look we're going for anyway when we do weathering. Paint peels away, exposes metal, and that metal rusts. So really great technique, super simple to do. Don't be afraid of it, give it a try. Do want to remind you guys, you can check out my 100 subscriber giveaway, link in the top right of the video here. Go check that out, leave a comment on that video, give us a sub on the channel, and get entered to win a measurement gauge, custom measurement gauge from litco.net. If you guys enjoy the videos, give us a like, leave some comments down below about different types of weathering that you've tried, successes. I always like to try out new stuff, so if you guys have new stuff for me to try, I'm willing to give it a go and see how it works. Give us a sub on the channel if you're enjoying what I'm doing, and as always, we will see you guys in the next video.